All right, so if I have, this is my full thing. This is the bottom piece. I already have the holes to connect to the sides. What I want now is to put holes to connect to the bottom feet. And these need to be a little bit smaller because the way I did it in this one, I actually put a nut on the top to screw it into, but I don't need that. I can just screw it into the wood if I make the hole smaller. So basically all I'm going to do is this needs to be evenly set on both sides. So this is going to be 0.185 from each side. So basically all I have to do,
It has to be a midpoint, right? The midpoint of that.
basically, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to offset, go 0.185. That number is not necessarily super critical, but if I just do 0.185, I offset it from both sides, and I do that on each corner. So I offset 0.185 on both sides.
185.
Yeah. And this will give you a intersection point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a center diameter circle again, center diameter, and it's going to start at the center of the intersection of these two lines I just made. So I'll type in 0.1. Yep. And if you look at it,
That's pretty big. Oh, because I forgot to do that.
it is, you should see it a little smaller than the previous holes we already made. So the next thing I can do is just copy, select it, hit enter, specify the base point as the center of it, and I will just drag this into the midpoint, into the intersection of all the other. Oops, I made a mistake. It's off center. If it's off center, just
And then delete the line.
and then you delete the lines. Yep.
No.
And even if this one was off center, it wouldn't really hurt because this is just holding. Yeah. So the bottom feet will fit wherever the hole is. You could. You just don't want it to interfere with the battery or anything else. The next thing we need for the bottom part is going to be these two holes, which hold the charging port. So these are pretty important where they are because they have to line up with where they are on the back. So if I put these holes somewhere where this slot is not, they won't line up. So this is important. Where the battery goes, these two, the spacing between them is important, but where they are is not. So for these two, I can double check. These two are 0.97 apart. So basically all I did was I offset it from 2 inches off the side and I kept them centered. So basically what I did is I'll go from the midpoint, I'll go 2 inches straight, and then I'll do half of 0.97. Yep, from the midpoint. 0.97 divided by 2 is 0.485. So I'll do a line up that is 0.485. And then I will do the same thing on the other side. So what I'll do is this hole is going to be a center diameter that is 0.13.
Wait, 0.13?
0.13, so it's the same size as these through holes, not the...
Diameter?
Yep. Now I'll go ahead and mirror this from this line. Whoops. Mirror. I select the object. I hit enter. I specify any 2 points on this line, and I don't erase the source object. I will get rid of this line. This is where my battery holder will go. So my battery is going to be pretty square in the middle of the bottom part. last but not least is where these two lines are. So let's take a look how far apart they are. 0.905.
0.905.
And which size holes are these? These are 0.1. Okay, let's take a quick look again how far they are from here. I don't like that. Let's look at how far they are from here. 0.35 from that line.
0.35 from the, wait,
So since that's 0.35,
wait, I can't reach right there.
basically what I'm going to do is just offset 0.35,
Offset.
enter, select this line.
0.35?
I select this line right here,
Wait, 0.35?
0.35.
Okay.
Let me check this one again. So how far is it from here? 0.922. So I will, excuse me, 0.922. I use my offset again, because if I don't use offset, it won't snap to that line. It'll snap to the endpoints or the midpoint.
Wait, point what?
922. So this is where my first hole is going to be.
922?
I'm going to go ahead and put a center diameter of 0.1. And then I can go ahead and get rid of these lines.
Can I add the circle? Wait, what is the circle?
0.1. This one's going to be a threaded hole. So I take a quick look. 0.905 is the distance between them. And I will
Whoa, wait.
put a 905 hole. 905 line, sorry, and then I put a second hole on it.
Wait, hold up. Oh, wait. So, wait.
So this should be the entire bottom piece. I have holes on the corners for the feet, holes on the sides to connect the
Wait, what's
parts.
the size to the
This is
other
for the
hole?
battery. This is for the charger.
What's the size to the other hole?